There's no such thing as a small disaster. So when you call 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota, we come prepared to restore your life back to normal. From burst pipes to unexpected mold discoveries or fire damage, when things couldn't be worse, we come to you with our best. With empathy, local expertise, and a truck full of seriously powerful equipment. 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota. Restoring what matters most. 701-670-2022.
Hello and happy Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Lisa Green here with a look at our forecast. Welcome to this Valley News Now weather update brought to you by 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota. And you can see it behind me. It's the sun. It is back. It's so exciting to see it back. It's just been so gloomy. And, you know, it's nice to warm up in the winter time, but when it comes with that price of the fog and just the gray days, that can drag on. And so it's nice to have a warm day today, not just that, but also a nice bright sunny day in progress here for us in Fargo. This is our Skycam. We'll pull that back up full screen again. Our Skycam in West Fargo at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds, and we are looking southeast toward the sun right now. So again, beautiful out there. We have a few areas of clouds, but overall, you know, it is a really nice start to our day today. And you know, we're getting into midday now, getting into that lunch hour. Looks like a good day to get outside, step outside for that lunch break and take in that sunshine if you can here for today. And so again, looking at some really great conditions here coming up for this Wednesday. Now, a couple of things to note. You know, we didn't have the fog. It did happen overnight, but it improved over the course of the night. So we watched our visibilities really come up as we were heading into the valley today. So that's the great thing. So the visibilities got better, and a lot of our roads have gotten better, but there's still some icy patches out there. We still have some frost on our roadways. So I'm going to pull up behind me here. You can see this, our DOT cam view of an intersection along Highway 281. And this is in the New Rockford area. And you can see that we've got a little sheen on the road. There's a little bit of frost on the road here that we're contending with. So that is going to be something that you may be running into here. And then, of course, just areas where we've got compacted snow and ice on the sides here that you may be running into, and it may get a little more slushy as the day goes on and we warm up more. So some things to keep in mind as you're hitting the road, that the visibility is good, but there's still some slick spots that we've got going on. So speaking of, here's a look at our road conditions. This map shows road conditions, kind of a simplified version of our maps. The blue shows patchy snow or ice on the roads, and that includes a good portion of northeastern North Dakota and parts of Minnesota. Some of our highways in Minnesota also indicating some partially covered roads, whether that's wet roads or ice or snow on the roadways. So I am actually going to pull up our website yet again, and we'll take a look at a more detailed version of our road conditions. If you head to the weather page, and that is valleynewslive.com/weather again. And then this is our weather homepage. Road conditions, one of the options at near the top of the menu. And we can see all 3 states in the tri-state area plus Manitoba available here. So it's kind of nice to have a one-stop shop. And there we go. You can see that it's not necessarily, I mean, well, it is ice and the fact that it's frozen water, but we are looking at frost on roads. That's what the light blue colors mean. And you can see that here on our legend, some scattered to continuous frost being reported, and not necessarily, you know, solid ice happening in these locations. So northeastern North Dakota, including around the Carrington area, reporting those areas of patchy frost. And then there's a little pocket here, a little spot in Richland County in North Dakota too, where that is being reported. Also, this W here, that means warning. It's a heads up that they're doing some, not weather related, but they're repairing some guardrails. So traffic's reduced to 1 lane. So just be careful of the construction going on there. And this is mile marker 123 south of Grand Forks. I can zoom in even more so we can get a closer view right near the Reynolds area. So that's where that's happening. So you can always check on those kind of things, construction and weather related road conditions, again, right through our website, valleynewslive.com. Okay, so back to, talking about improved conditions for us here today. We still do have, again, the issues with some frost on the roads and some ice and slush going on, but overall really looking much, much better here for today. So let's take a look at visibility. This is another example of how much improved we are. Visibility at 10 miles for almost every location. And just a reminder, you know, the human eye not necessarily limited to 10 miles, but the visibility reports that come in from airports are maxed out at 10 miles. So Fargo is maxed out at 10, Grand Forks just slightly under that at 9 miles. Okay, so let's take a look at our view of the radar and satellite map. So you can see that we've got some areas where we have a few clouds moving through. Those are the white wispy or gray areas that are moving on our loop here. And then, you know, a lot of places where we're getting some sun. We'll expand the view here to show you that there is some moisture to the west in eastern parts of Montana. And I am watching for our kind of next wave that may move through tonight and into early tomorrow that could bring that chance for some precip coming up here. So here's a look at our wind. It is out of the south on average. We've got wind speeds anywhere from no wind, calm conditions in Bemidji, up to 16 miles per hour in Langdon. So not too much of a windy day going on. And our temperatures, oh, it's so warm. It's January, and it's statistically our coldest time of the year. And looking at the temperatures that are way above the average high in Fargo, which is 18, we're not double that in Fargo right now, but not far off at 33 degrees. And it's 45 in Sisseton right now. And we're looking at more 30s in places in southeastern North Dakota. Jamestown's at 39. Fergus Falls is at 34. It's super mild. And then north, not quite as warm, but again, still pretty warm at coming up on 11 o'clock in the morning in January in the north too. We're in the upper teens to some upper 20s there. So again, a warm day, and one that is not socked in fog and mist and gray skies. So let's take a look at our planner as we continue on through the daytime hours today. Expect to have those warm temperatures continue. We may have some passing clouds, but overall, again, enjoying more sunshine than we've seen today. And then as we get into the afternoon, again, temperatures are going to be back into the above freezing range for a lot of spots, which means melting. You're going to want the windshield washer fluid in your car topped off. You're going to want to make sure you are watching out for road spray while you're out on the highways here, as we've got the melting that's happening. Okay, so I mentioned that possibility for a little bit of a mix here, that possibility for our next kind of weak system, our weak wave moving through. And you can see some hints of that as we get into the 7 o'clock hour for tonight. And I can't rule out the possibility that we may see fog develop again as well in some areas too. So looking out for, you know, a couple of things tonight as a low passes by and a front goes through here. So looking at, this is 7 p.m. Let's move on into the 9:30 time frame. You can see still on the mild side, but temperatures are starting to drop below freezing. So there's that potential for refreeze in areas that have had some melting. And then moving overnight, that front continues to work its way through, and we're looking out for the potential for a little bit of a mix or some light snow heading into the early part of the day tomorrow. I'm not expecting anything major, but you know, light coating could lead to some slick spots, and temperatures will be back below freezing. So we'll be tracking that. If we see any precip through the morning, we'll of course be bringing that to you on the Valley today. And let's take a look at our planner for today. Again, just looking at conditions that are going to be really pleasant. Temperatures in the 30s and some views of sunshine here with not too much wind. Okay, we're going to skip past this because we just went through that. Next couple of days, Thursday, we're looking at, you know, a slight cool down behind that front will be, again, it's still very mild. Highs in the 20s to some low 30s. And then Friday, a little bit cooler from there. You can see we've got overcast or mostly cloudy skies on Friday. Friday, this is through the afternoon. Friday evening is when I'm watching out for that potential for a low to bring us some snow. So here's a look at what to expect here on Friday. So this is noon on Friday. And I want to mention that some of our forecast models have indicated from time to time, a little bit better chance for some snow Friday and heading into Saturday. Here's what's going on. I don't have them plotted on the map here, especially because in some instances, in one of these lows, it hasn't developed yet. At this time, I've paused the clock at noon on Friday. But we're going to see, a low passing by in the north on Friday. But also, there's going to be a developing low south of us, a kind of a Colorado type low that we've talked about leading up to this event that will largely miss us to the south. So we're talking more places in passing over places like Iowa and impacting more up toward Minneapolis and then back over to the Great Lakes. But as these kind of move eastward, they're both going to kind of merge. So, we're kind of looking at a trajectory of the low, the Colorado low that way, and then, oops, we'll get rid of that guy. And then this low is kind of going like that. So, as they kind of join up, we could see more development here. I'm not saying this is exactly where it's going to be, but, it's kind of joining forces essentially. We have the potential for seeing maybe perhaps, if this happens, a little bit more snow. I'm not talking about a major snowstorm right now, but still the potential for a little bit more snow lasting a little bit longer. We'll clear this away. That looks messy. Okay, so let's move into Friday. So we've got this low that's up to the north passing by. And so that's going to create enough instability that we could see some snow showers Friday evening. And then heading into the nighttime hours, this is the European model that's showing, again, that potential for snow that is more likely north and east. And then working our way into Saturday morning, that's when that second system starts to come into play a little bit more. And we're looking at more areas here in the upper Midwest, potentially seeing a little bit more snow, perhaps lingering a little bit longer. You can see here, it's hiding behind our little logo there, but this is where the bulk of the heavier snow will be Saturday afternoon. Again, moving more into the Great Lakes area. But, we could have some surrounding areas where we're still getting some snow associated with these two systems. So this is noon on Saturday, continuing on into Saturday evening, and then moving on into Saturday night. That's when it clears away. I think this is the higher end scenario. We may not see snow shower chances last that long here in the valley, but just want you to be prepared for that possibility. It's also possible we could get, a quick little dusting up to about an inch of snow, and that's it. And we see that happen Friday night into early Saturday, and then it moves on. So, going to watch the model trends over the next 24 hours to see if this continues. But otherwise, we're looking at the brunt of that storm bringing heavier snow to places like Chicago, like Des Moines, and again back over into the Great Lakes. So again, watching this for Friday evening and again into Saturday for your travel purposes. We'll take a quick look at Sunday. Sunday could feature a chance for some flakes, and northwesterly flow on Saturday behind this system will also mean the potential for some chillier temperatures, relatively speaking, to the very warm ones we have going on right now. So let's move ahead to our, move ahead to our 11-day planner. So for today, beautiful. Temperatures into the 30s, above freezing. Might be, your cars might get a little dirty from all of the slush and road spray, but we've got some, nice weather going on. Temperatures into the 30s. Again, I can't rule out that potential for a little bit of that light mix overnight and into early tomorrow. Shouldn't last very long. And then heading into Friday, watching out for that evening snow chance, and that could linger into Saturday, some snow showers and breezy weather too. So there could be some, minor blowing snow impacts going on too on Saturday from any snow that we pick up. Our current snowpack is going to be kind of crusted over. It'll be more difficult to loft with the melting that we're seeing here for today, or just the ripening of that snowpack, that layer. So it would be more likely to see blowing and drifting snow if we had, an inch or so of snowfall come on Friday night and into Saturday. And so looking at Saturday's temperature, also into the teens. And then once we get into Sunday, starting to make a recovery, getting into the upper 20s, heading into next week, some 20s to some 30s, low 30s. One thing I'm looking out for here is heading into the weekend. Some models are hinting at some cooling temperatures, some significant cooling going on. So, we knew it couldn't last. It's January after all, and to have temperatures in the 30s and 20s for such a long stretch is unusual. And so, eventually January is going to do what January is going to do. And so we're probably going to see a cool down for that second half of the month as we head into that time frame. But that's a distance off, but something just to kind of keep in the back of your mind and enjoy today. It's, again, a nice day where even if we don't get a lot of sunshine in some areas, it's still nice to have that fog take a break for a little bit and to have these milder temperatures as well. So we'll leave you at that. You could always check back with us for the latest updates on the forecast. We'll have another update coming up this afternoon from our evening crew. And of course, the VNN Weather app, the Valley News Live website, always a great tool to stay up to date on what's going on and how the forecast is looking as well. And I will be back here tomorrow to bring you an update on how things are looking for the weekend. In the meantime, have a great Wednesday, and we will see you soon.
There's no such thing as a small disaster. So when you call 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota, we come prepared to restore your life back to normal. From burst pipes to unexpected mold discoveries or fire damage, when things couldn't be worse, we come to you with our best. With empathy, local expertise, and a truck full of seriously powerful equipment. 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota. Restoring what matters most. 701-670-2022.